So somebody didn't like the fact that I said that you couldn't build a Yu-Gi-Oh deck for $5. Corpse Fin came to me and said, Robbie, it's possible. I was like, no way. He's like, well, one of our kids got third place locals. So this is the story of the $5 budget Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Taxes and shipping rates may vary. You might be spending $6 to $7 depending on how that goes. Or you might just get lucky. And I still can't believe this. So make sure you show some love. Make sure you're subscribed. And we're going to talk about the $5 budget Yu-Gi-Oh deck experience, shall we? So I'm going to be honest with you here. What you're looking at on the screen here is it. And this is the $5 budget Yu-Gi-Oh experience. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to acquire an Appliancer core. Appliancer cores are like $3, if that. And that means that the rest of the deck is going to have to be acquirable for $2, which is very doable, actually. So if you're a budget Yu-Gi-Oh player and you are looking to get into the game, here's what I can tell you about this before I get into the profile here. I played this deck on stream in singles. I lost to Twin Twister and Harpy's Feather Duster in 1-out-of-1 games, which variably tells me that my opponent is just better than me. Yeah, we didn't draw Waking the Dragon, I'm sorry to say. But in situations like that, though, that's just one variable. So let's talk about this, shall we? Because this might be a little bit weird to some of you guys. I know there's not a side deck here, but the original duelist that played this did get third place at his locals, which means that this is viable, all right? So first thing we have here is we have triple copies of the Appliancer Break Barbuncle. I'm now an Appliancer expert, evidently. During damage calculation, if an Appliancer monster you control battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, we can discard this card. For that battle, that monster you control cannot be destroyed. Also, you take no battle damage if an Appliancer monster you control be destroyed by card effect. You can banish this card. So, no battle damage, protection, and a banish effect for protection. That's actually really freaking good. All right, like, you're going to want to make sure that these little things stick on the field so you can win the game. All right, now we have triple copies of the Appliancer Copy Bockle. All right, so you can target one Appliancer monster you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's name becomes the monster's name until the end phase. Hey, we copied the our little friend. All right. Okay, so yeah, we get the name. During your main phase, except the turn that this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target an Appliancer monster you control, special summon one monster with the same name from the hand or graveyard. This is also going to be very important to make sure that we can, basically, we can do this step on into our Link monsters, we make the little wall plug in, because, you know, we're going to have to plug our little Appliancers in. And then basically the cool thing is this will self-replace into this, or whichever one of these that we have. I actually quite like this floating back to the field as an additional resource. And then we have triple copies of the Socket Roll. So you control an Appliancer monster, special summon this card from your hand. Have another Appliancer Socket Troll, or Socket Roll, is special summoned to your field while you control this monster. You special summon one Socket Roll from your deck. You can only use the effect of Appliancer Socket Roll once per turn. Extenders. The whole family can call itself out here. So that will basically put us into the situation of getting our wall plug-in plus whichever piece that we need to answer the situation. Alright, so we are essentially a little bit of a combo deck here. So, Appliancer Electrical World. When this card is activated, we can add an Appliancer card from our deck to our hand. It's literally a 10-cent searcher. Except a field spell, so we can't search for itself. Once per turn, if you link summon an Appliancer monsters, you can add an Appliancer monster from your graveyard to your hand. This is our recursion engine. Guess what I don't draw when I play Appliancers? This good card. Alright. Once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, you can move one Appliancer monster you control to another of your main monster zones. So we also get some switchability on that. Our next spell card, Appliancer Reuse, target an Appliancer monster graveyard, special summon it, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field, so our Monster Reborn is actually really good. All right, and then we have the triple copies of Appliancer Test. Target an Appliance Link monster you control. Special summon as many Link 1 Appliancer monsters from your graveyard as possible to your zone that monster points to, but banish them during the end phase. So this is going to bring back all of our friends that we can continue to, not so much Link climb with, but continue to combo with. Then we have one monster reborn for an extender. Now, full disclosure after that, all right? So that's your heart and soul of your deck. The traps are going to be your carry. Now, in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's not a bad thing to understand that traps are a very good thing in a local competitive tournament. If you want to farm some store credit, you're going to need these. So, first up, we have triple copies of the Jelly Cannon. So, when a monster declares an attack, target a monster on the field, shuffle into the deck. I actually really like this card. Also works for your swings. Triple copies of Magic Cylinder to bully for time, basic stuff. Triple copies of basic Mirror Force. Triple copies of Quaking Mirror Force. I can only imagine the situation where you're playing against Appliancers and your opponent goes, hee hee, Quaking, and you're like, oh, you actually just are better than me. It'd be like that sometimes. We also have triple copies of Storming Mirror Force to repulse back to the hand. And then we have triple copies of our win con. Now remember, I say this is our win con because we don't have, we can't afford a big Ultimate Falcon. So we go to the next best thing, the BLs. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. You take, if you take damage from an attack involving this card and opponent's card effect, this card gets the attack increase. The first thing I would do if I was playing this deck of locals is I would upgrade to an Ultimate Falcon. Alright, I understand that this is acceptable, but who? Then we also have the triple copies of Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Did you guys know that this card targets, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack after that, set this card back on the field. So, yeah, you get some infinite attack negations. You'll basically be able to protect your big guys. Alright, so our big guys here. Appliancer Vacuum Fant. One Appliancer monster, completely generic across the entire archetype. Cannot be used as link material to turn into Link Summon. Can attack directly while, or cannot attack, can attack directly while it is not co-linked. Alright? You can set one card from your hand to the graveyard. Send one from hand to the graveyard. Target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. If this card is co-linked, you target one monster in your opponent's main monster zone and destroy it. That's actually really freaking good. Alright? Then we have the Laundry Dragon. I think this is probably our best resource. So one Appliancer monster cannot be used as link material, turn it summoned. Neither player takes damage from battles, from attacks involving this card. Keep in mind this is on a 1500. Alright? Once per turn, after damage calculation, if this co-linked card battles an opponent's monster, so if it's plugged in, you can banish that opponent's monster. Once per turn after damage calculation, if this monster is not co-linked battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster if you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack. This dryer's quite threatening when not plugged in. We also have two copies of the Kappa Scale. Cannot be used link material, turn its link summoned. You contribute this co-link card, special summon an Appliance or link monster from your graveyard. So it's actually self-replacement. Alright, and then we contribute this card that is not co-linked, special summon a level 4 or lower Appliance or monster from our graveyard. So if it's not actually plugged in, we can just... The cool thing is you can step into this, and then tribute it off, and then summon back the Appliancer that we used to make this, and we can step on into something else. So we actually... It basically loads up quicker for our Appliancers to re-summon. Alright. Dryer Drake cannot be used link material to turn into his link summon. Gains 1,000 attack. Oh, this link card gains 1,000 attack. So if it's plugged in, we get 1,000. Okay. Once per turn, during your battle, or during, your battle phase, if this card is co-linked except during damage step, you can switch the locations of two of your Appliancer monsters in your main monster zone, including this card. So we can unplug it and then plug in something else. Alright? Including this card. If you do, the other monster can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Once per turn, when this card is not co-linked, is targeted for an attack, you negate the attack. Alright, our wall socket. This is the big game changer right here. The linked card, or this linked card, cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, or their monster attacks. Keep that in mind that this is on two monsters to make it. If an Appliance or link monster you control co-linked to this card battles an opponent's monster, your battling monster gains attack equal to the number of monsters co-linked to this card times 1,000. Yay, fat attack boost. Alright. It's actually really good. Once per turn, if an appliance link monster you control that is not co-linked to this card is destroyed by a card effect, we can draw a card. Resource management? Hello, is that you? And we also have 1BLs here. Overall, I'm going to be honest with you, I think this deck is bad, but I understand from the budget player perspective that there is some potential here. And it is kind of fun, actually. So, even though I didn't get any wins with this, we were close in some games. So, Harpy's Feather Duster is a real bad card, man. Especially when you don't open up your Waking the Dragons like me. So, shout out to Corpse Fen for sending this over to me. I think it's a very interesting perspective. But it is a new look on budget. At least from a different perspective. So, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about these decks. I'll see your beautiful faces later on in the day. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCo40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCO40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcogames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.